All right, so let's see, on position 1, Aaron McCary. Then state, you're gonna be ready?
I am ready, correct.
That one of those, we still need a,
Yes. I represent a co-defendant in positions 1, 2, and 3.
all right, so this one's gotta be a C3, right?
Yes.
And that still go through Ms. Walker?
Yes, Mr. McCary, Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Thomas all need appointment.
Okay.
Mr. Thomas? And whoops, I just missed one. Lemons,
Oh, yes, Mr. Lemons, who's position 7, he also needs appointment of attorney.
so I have 3, right? McCary, Thomas, which other one?
Robinson,
Robinson. Oh, because I had a Kevin Herrick.
that entry was filed in error.
Oh, okay,
He will also need a C3.
okay. So then that means it should be a short morning. Guess we can, all right. We'll bring them out at the end. What about, Centurious Kemp?
I have my officer here for Centurious Kemp.
Okay, and for both, and then we got Victoria Jones. Position 8.
I have it for,
All right, so is there anybody here on the Stephen Horn case? Nope, all right, they're good, so. How far along are we? How far did LT say we are on getting the inmates up here?
She's gonna check now, they still have a plenty of attention down there.
Okay,
she needs. Credit for that either.
okay, that's fine. I just want you to know that.
Okay, so, city of Atlanta detail. Okay.
He's working, I think 24.
Then we can reset to.
Hey, then it looks like 1, 2, 3, and what's that, 7? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And 7. Need to be, yeah.
Ron, are we, just for clarification, are we resetting those or are we just holding them till the end?
No, I mean, they're not gonna have a lawyer, even if we hold them to the end, so we'll reset them. But I want to bring them out and tell them, it's crazy. Because these have been waiting for a good minute.
Understood.
Judge Manning? Can I
Yes,
have the name of the ADA that's present?
Hi, it's, am I able to be heard? ADA
Yes, ma'am.
Celeste, ADA Celeste Patton, Patten. And then Celeste is Celeste.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Good morning, Judge. Judge Manning, good morning.
Ms. Walker, this is Judge Manning calling from Fulton County. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people on my calendar who've been on there a couple times that are needing C3 attorneys. So I'm wanting to know what the status is on getting them C3 attorneys. It's Aaron McCary, Robert Robinson, Larry Thomas, and Eric Lemons. All 4 of these gentlemen need a C3 attorney, and this is, I think, the second time, possibly the third time they've been on my calendar. So what do we need to do to make sure they get their C3 attorney? Please let me know. Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
No, Judge, I just said good morning. I noticed it's kind of gloom in here this morning. I tried to lighten it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Is somebody here on Aaron McCary? All right, well, we're gonna reset it. What about Robert Robinson? You're just here for everything, aren't you? Well, Larry Thomas.
Same officer.
I just want to see you raise your hand again.
you.
What about, are you also here for Eric Lemons?
No, that's
You.
Roswell.
So I would just say that I don't know, set it out, I guess, a couple more weeks, Miss Mr. Watts.
Okay, 4 weeks.
I guess so, yeah. And either of you have any sort of vacation or anything planned?
Vacation plan, I have mostly.
Okay, what dates are we looking at?
July 6th.
July 6th? What about you, ma'am?
Smith, Officer Smith,
That should be good for July.
What does I should be good mean?
Well, I don't have my master schedule for like my squad in front of me.
But even if you have your schedule, court trumps that, right? Okay, just making sure. I just want to make sure you don't have any, I just want to make sure you don't have vacation. I'm not going to stomp all over your vacation. All right, so when do we reset it for July?
July 6th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Is that good for you guys? All right, you folks can leave then. Not all of you, just those two.
There's 2 words that are there.
And anybody need to sign any of your paperwork? She can sign it if you needed to. All right, well, I'll tell you that,
If it's me.
the 1, 2, 3, and 7, they're all gonna be reset.
Judge Manning.
Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't hear, I just heard 9 a.m. I didn't hear anything else. It was
I have no idea who that is talking.
It's Taisha Hollenbeck
Oh, okay.
from the clerk's
No,
office.
1, 2, 3, and 7 are all gonna be reset to July 6th at 9 a.m. They have to get a C3 attorney appointed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, no, we're
so 1, 2, 3, and 7.
so.
And then number 6 has been released. And then, I don't know, I don't see Miss Eustace. They said they're still waiting to bring them up. Let me see if I see Miss Eustace.
Let's go in. It's still counting.
Hey, how are you? Sure, absolutely. Hey, how are you? Oh, nice. 3rd year. Okay.
This afternoon.
Okay, we'd only have one, so there you go. Good job. All right, are you third year at, we're at? Oh, okay. Are you from here? Oh, okay. So you want to come back to Fulton County? Mississippi, come on now. All right, well, great. It's awesome to have you. Yes, sir. Oh, is it?
No, denied.
Okay, so it's. Okay. Is it like an all day every day? Probably why we have you, because we're looking at more. Oh, okay, so is it all?
Honor Commissioner approach.
I'm wondering how that would.
Yeah.
Work. Have to be like a little bit more than that. Started.
Maybe a second.
All right. Sure. Yeah.
Look at all these computers in this place. But we don't have access to them all. And that's one, two. So. Yeah. But that's one.
I have a few comments.
Even the email. That place, you gotta go through all this stuff to get on the email.
IT. Almost 4 different times.
Yeah.
Not stressing.
I understand. That's all you can do.
I saw everything. I said, so I just need to see what I can do. I said, nah, I know what to do. Yeah. And I'm looking at it like, well, you know, I can do. Because of the issue. So I'm looking at it, I think glad. It'd be done. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'm covering Village Alana's
It
case.
matters.
I'll be handling this first, and Mr. Cashier will always.
Yeah, I got it on my.
This one, I followed up on this, he's over to.
Is he gonna do both or not both?
Since he's those cases should know. Okay.
I can give it to.
I know he is a real person, but I've never actually seen him show up in course.
That's why I actually got a different number for him.
Okay, the number I gave you is the one you have.
Yes, I got him, I always go straight to.
Oh, I always said this.
I just got this one.
Yeah, that's the number I got from Julian, so
Did you try calling?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
We tried texting and got no response. So, and he gets a lot of seafood.
Exactly what I'm calling, like, it's 3 weeks now. Yeah. Hopefully my email.
Hopefully.
Okay.
So yeah, since he's got this case should hurt him as well. The theory is to try to keep all the cases under just one seat.
Okay.
Is there anybody else? Oh, yeah, I followed up on all these folks as well. Let me check my,
I ain't trying to listen.
because we,
Oh, we all.
This would be-
He gets excited. He don't stay. Oh.
and he already has a C3. But I'm not sure.
I am dying.
Sent over yet.
I'm gonna have to put my,
I can just. I'm
I'm gonna have to take it off for a second.
Yeah,
I'm overheating.
You got 2 hearings?
Yeah, yep, just 2, but I'm not sure how many on the one on calendar.
That was that case that I emailed you about, and you excused me today for Victoria Jones. I'm sorry? It was the one that's pending the ex parte eval. So I got the email, and I was like, let me run down. Yes.
It'll be Luemba.
How long can you do that?
Probably about 30 days, sometime in that time frame. Perfect. Thank you, Judge. I do not, I've already spoken with her, Judge. No, that's fine. I'm in trial down the hall, so it was easy for me to come down here. Yes, thank you, Judge, maybe excuse. No, it's fine. Yeah. Please let him show.
So my case is the only one this morning?
That's it.
Okay.
Position H reset?
Right, she's got an expert meeting. Neither of you are here on Victoria Jones, right? She has an expert meeting. Same thing, just like I said, if something happens, I know you guys go a long way, as long as you're prepared. They'll show up in the bathtub, on the toilet, smoking something. Lay in the bed, like many people have had, and you can.
Oh my gosh.
Just get the.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Is it a
It's gonna be July 6th also. Good.
Last week.
At 9 AM? Yeah. Okay. Anybody want to email whoever it is, I have to make sure that it's not. You're at Lawrence, stand by, it's awesome lunch.
Thank you, Detective Barden, for coming by.
Yeah. I was not. We knew that. We knew it.
Bless you.
You know, the one set of warrants I didn't print out were his because they were 115 pages. Yeah, that's. I need.
What about the ones this afternoon, Mr. Miles? Are you covering that or just?
Yes,
You're,
yes,
that would down to 2 p.m.
we are.
Looks like the afternoon will look the same way, so you got a lot.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I did discuss that. I'll get here for Mr. Lyle's cases, and then there's a very unpopular, there's a brief code of evidence, is in Mr. Lyle's case. I know this first one was the theme to be going to Muhammad with Mr. Lava, our counselor with these cases. And then same, for Mr. Dog. Is for the associated attorneys.
Okay. Just the two of y'all, you hold it in.
Trying.
That's right. So I guess when LT gets back up here, all we need is Cynthia is Kim. So how much you need to bring up? Yeah. Okay. Right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she would really do something. Just like she likes. Oh. Okay.
That is. I did always. Yeah.
Got it.
Because we just need that one person. Yeah, now, So then we'll line still we get dressed first, but we can get, let me see. Then that's the one we need.
Okay.
I think I did this, from my way around. Yeah, what's all you want to do? Yeah, this one's out, these. If we were jurors, then I guess they. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Let's get pause. Are we gonna have to work remote on Thursday?
You saw that.
There might be an indictment on Thursday. Causing civil unrest, but if that's the case, I would like to know now.
Saw something about. Okay, look for me.
Okay.
But. So that don't mean it.
I know, so I avoid calling you at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so we can just already know I'm here.
We got attorneys coming in now.
Okay, we got them. That's all we got, right? Get me. Ready, bring them out. Come on up. Go kill the for me. You're it. Start it.
Would you like me to come to the podium, Your Honor, or?
Sarah, what to do? Someone's gonna put here. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to the 25 years, truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Hey, so you state your name, spell it for the court reporter?
Detective Caitlin Lawrence, Caitlin, Lawrence, Lawrence.
Judge,
Right.
which position is this? I'm sorry.
It's gonna be 4 and 5, the only two.
Okay, thanks.
Good, how you doing?
Okay. All right, so we got Centarius Kemp, 22 CP 211235, 307 days out indictment, criminal trespass, entering an auto with the intent to commit a felony or a theft, criminal trespass. We got another entering auto with an attempt to commit a felony or a theft. And we got 22 CP 211236, 307 days out indictment, criminal trespass, and let's see, 3 counts of criminal trespass, and then 3 counts of entering auto or motor vehicle with intent to commit a theft or a felony. And we'll also address bond then if you want to, Ms. Rondon. Go ahead. What says the state?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed with questioning of our witness, if you're ready.
Go ahead.
All right. Hi, Officer Lawrence, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Just gonna start off here. Where are you currently employed?
Alpharetta Police Department,
How long have you been employed there?
over 7 years.
Were you employed with Alpharetta Police Department on the date of there's 2 separate incidents here, but we're going to talk about position 4 at first. So that would be February 19th. Were you employed there February 19th of 2022?
Yes, I was.
How did you become aware of Mr. Centarius Kemp?
I'm a detective in the Criminal Investigations Division. I was assigned multiple incident reports involving vehicle break-ins.
Okay. So the location of this incident, particularly, like I said, for position 4, were those in the city of Alpharetta, since that's where you're a police?
Yes,
Is that located in Fulton County?
yes, it is.
So just to be clear, where you came in contact with the defendant and the incident was all in Fulton County, correct?
I didn't come in contact with the defendant.
I meant
but
the defendant's case, my apologies.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, why don't you tell me a little bit about what happened relating to these charges and how you became to be involved in the case?
Okay, the cases are going to overlap a little bit. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. On February 19th, officers responded to Buffalo Wild Wings and Outback Steakhouse. One is on North Point Parkway, the other one's on Haynes Bridge Road. They responded in reference to vehicles being broken into. The officers had one vehicle, a Chevy Silverado, with a Tennessee tag that had damage to the front driver's side window.
at one location. At the other location, it was a BMW X5 that had damage to the rear driver window. Both vehicles had property stolen out of it on February 19th. And one of the victims stated that his AirPods were taken and gave a location where the AirPods were showing. They had officers respond to that location, and the officers saw a blue Dodge Journey in the parking lot of Kroger on Haynesbridge Road, which is in Johns Creek, I believe. As officers pulled in the parking lot, that blue Dodge Journey fled.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Okay. all
Okay.
right.
So did you ever speak to any of the victims of the break-ins or
After-
any witnesses?
on this incident, after I spoke to one victim who believed that her vehicle may have had fingerprints located inside, but other than that, no.
Okay. Did you ever, you mentioned a Dodge Blue Journey?
Yes.
Is that the name of the vehicle?
Mhm.
Okay, so you said it was, the AirPods were located in the Dodge Blue Journey, and then when the police pulled up, it sped off.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So going back to the February 19th, you said that was in a Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot.
There was on February 19th, there was two, one in Buffalo Wild Wings, one in Outback Steakhouse.
Okay. And the items that were stolen, you said there were multiple items?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any damage to any of the vehicles?
Yes. Damage to the front driver's side window on a Chevrolet Silverado, and damage to the rear driver window on a BMW.
And by damage, you just mean broken?
Shattered, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. I'm going to let you go ahead and continue with your narrative. You did describe this as multiple events. So
Mhm.
I'm going to let you continue, and then I'll interrupt you when necessary.
Okay. I'll have to refer to my report at times if that's okay. So that was in February. Then I'm assuming this is another position. I'm having to move into March.
I believe that is the next position. That's going to
Okay.
be position 5. And just for the record, it's case number 22 CP 211236. And that addresses the March 19th incidents.
Go ahead with it.
proceed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on March 19th, we had another incident involving entering autos on Old Milton Parkway, which turns into State Bridge Road. It was at Taco Mac, which is located in Alpharetta, Fulton County, Georgia. One of the victims in the cases stated he had damage to his vehicle. He stated that when he came outside, he noticed a blue Dodge Journey parked in the parking lot. There was a black female sitting in the front seat holding a Nike backpack. There was a temporary tag on the vehicle, and he saw what he described as a black male, early to mid 20s, leaning into another victim's vehicle.
Just to clarify, you said you spoke to a victim who noticed the Dodge Blue Journey, or a witness?
It was one of the victims.
Okay. Okay. My apologies. I didn't quite hear you.
That's okay.
Okay.
And so he proceeded to snap a picture of the rear of that Dodge Journey. And so officers responded to that scene. One officer was traveling on Old Milton Parkway, headed eastbound, and noticed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed westbound on Old Milton Parkway towards Georgia 400. The officer attempted to stop that vehicle that he described to be matching the suspect vehicle, the blue Dodge Journey, but it proceeded to flee from him and get on 400 southbound, leaving Alpharetta.
So that incident of fleeing with the blue Dodge Journey, so that's what we're talking about. Was that similar in time to the incidents from March 19th that we're here about today?
Yes.
Okay. How much time would you say elapsed between the two?
Say the incident report time was about midnight, and it was right around that time, I believe. Let me.
An approximation's fine too.
Okay, it was around that time. I'd have to look further into my report to see the exact times I have on the, so the pursuit took place at 00:22 hours, so 12:22 in the morning.
Okay, so let's go trace back here a little bit. On March 19th, you had a call and, my apologies. You had received you had received notice about some incidents. Was there damage to any of those vehicles?
Yes, so on March 19th, we had multiple victims. We had a Dodge Ram that had a shattered rear driver's side window. We had a Toyota Highlander that had a busted driver's side window. There was also a BMW 325i that had a busted rear passenger side window.
Okay. Were there items taken from these vehicles?
Yes.
Okay. And by damage, you mean broken
Shattered.
out, shattered window? Okay.
Yes.
And there were items taken from these vehicles?
Yes.
Okay. So both of these incidents occurs, just to make sure, both in Fulton County. You said one was near Taco Mac and one was near Buffalo Wild Wings, both in Fulton County.
Yes, and Outback, yes. And all of them are in Fulton County and Alpharetta.
Did you speak to any witnesses on this incident regarding the accused in this case?
I spoke to the witness who stated he saw a black male leaning into the vehicle, and all he could describe was that it appeared to be a black male, early to mid-20s.
Did you ever show him a photo lineup?
No, if I remember correctly, I believe I asked him if he'd be able to identify, and I believe he said he would not because it was dark outside.
Understood. Okay, so did you ever talk to any other police agencies regarding, you said it was multiple entering autos. Did you ever speak to any police agencies regarding that?
I sent out bulletins in reference to this because we knew we had been having issues with this vehicle. I received contact back from.
Hold on one second. With this vehicle, what do you
with the
mean by
Dodge
that?
Journey.
Oh, the blue
suspect
Dodge
vehicle.
Journey. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So I sent out bulletins and got information back that Marietta had also been hit, McDonough had been hit, Henry County, which is McDonough, but Henry County PD had also supposedly taken reports. And then
And all of those agencies mentioned to you about a blue Dodge Journey.
they responded to those bulletins.
Mhm.
And so I got actual emails from Marietta and McDonough who confirmed. And then I believe the McDonough detective told me Henry County PD was also working some cases involving.
Did any of the police departments have any further information about possibly the occupants of the blue Dodge Journey or anything of that nature?
Eventually, Marietta reached back out to me and said that they believed that, I think it was Marietta reached back out to me and said that Atlanta had identified the occupants of the vehicle. And I was able to obtain that Atlanta report.
Okay. In the Atlanta report, what did you see that was possibly identifying information regarding the accused here today?
So they located a blue Dodge Journey that fled from them. They later located the vehicle somewhere in Atlanta. And there was a female occupant that they identified as Yasmin Abdullah, I believe was her name. And she told Atlanta police that Santarius Kemp was the driver of that vehicle.
Okay. Did you have any other identifying information about Santarius Kemp? And I mean physically, trying to think how to word this. Any information that would be personable to him, something that it's related like just to you. So like your badge number, that's yours. That's how we identify you. Anything else that identifies him?
So in talking to another detective in my office, Detective Maciel, he had worked cases in January 2022 where there were entering autos, and a pursuit of the vehicle that was used then occurred. I believe it was a pursuit. And in that vehicle, the police located a pizza box with a phone number on it. And in those cases, it returned to Santarius Kemp. So Detective Maciel and I were discussing that phone number, and that phone number was linked to Kemp in other cases. So we utilized that phone number, and Detective Maciel obtained a search warrant for phone records from, I believe it was January through April.
What do the phone records indicate to you regarding specifically the February 19th event and the March 19th event?
So I'm going to have to refer to my report a little bit on this. February 19th, it did show Kemp having phone activity in the area of the entering autos at Outback Steakhouse and Buffalo Wild Wings.
Was that at around the same time? I'm not sure if phone records tell you the time of that. Is
Yeah,
that true?
so there was records at 8:44 p.m., 8:48, 8:59, 9:08, 9:14, 9:21, and 9:35 hours, which is in the time frame that was given by victims.
Correct. Okay. And the March incident, the March 19th?
March 19th was, it showed that he was in the area. The pursuit took place at, like I said, approximately 12:22. And it shows showed the Dodge Journey in the area, but then it also showed it on 400 at 285 at 00:33 hours, which was 11 minutes after the pursuit ended. I checked maps and looked at how long it would take to go from Old Milton Parkway to 400 at 285. Normal driving conditions is about 15 minutes. So traveling at the erratic high rate of speed that the driver was traveling at, you could easily travel that in 11 minutes at that time of night.
Correct. Okay. So February 19th incident and the March 19th incident, what led you to believe these incidents were connected?
In both incidents, the suspect vehicle description we were given was a Dodge Journey.
A blue Dodge Journey. Okay. And you got those statements you stated from witnesses? Did you ever look at any footage?
So there was footage from Outback where it shows a Dodge Journey in the parking lot. And then in the Taco Mac, it was the witness statement in the photo, and then the pursuit around that time. And then if I can add, once that vehicle was located, there was stolen property from an entering auto that had occurred in Alpharetta. It just was not stolen property from any of those cases. I tried to reach out to Atlanta because there was a lot of property located inside that vehicle and never could get Atlanta to contact me in reference to looking at all of the inventory that was taken from that vehicle.
Okay. Did you ever at any time see a picture of Mr. Kemp or anything that would identify him?
No, I did not.
Okay. With Kemp's phone records, how did you know they were his?
So Detective Maciel had his information from his previous cases that linked Kemp to that phone number, and then he obtained the search warrant. And I don't have that search warrant with me, but I believe that the phone number shows as he was a subscriber. I can't say for sure though, but we were able to link him from the January cases where he was using that phone number as well.
Did you yourself watch video footage of the incident? I think you said that was from the 219 incident.
So it's not like I got still shots of it.
Okay.
And you can tell it's a blue Dodge Journey, but it's backed in, so you can't get a tag or anything like that.
Did you ever receive a physical description of Mr. Kemp?
The only thing I ever got from any witness or anything like that was a black male, early to mid-20s.
Okay. That you previously said that. My apologies for asking you again. At any time when you spoke to the victims in this case, did they tell you that they had given the accused permission to enter their vehicle?
No.
Did they tell you that they knew the accused and he was permitted to be near their vehicle?
No.
Did they indicate to you that they had ever seen the accused prior to this incident?
No.
So you did observe damage on the vehicles. In your experience, and I know it's kind of hard to tell now with windows and cars and how much they cost, would you say that this damage was significant to the vehicles?
I mean, it's kind of subjective. When you have a shattered window, it value-wise, more expensive car is probably going to be more expensive to replace. I would say it was significance, probably a strong word. It was a decent amount of damage to the vehicle.
Okay. Did you yourself arrest the accused?
Like physically arrest?
Yes.
No.
You took out warrants though and swore warrants for them?
Yes.
So at the time of these incidents, were you post-certified?
Yes, I was.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I went through Police Academy in 2015. So I've been post-certified since 2015. Worked for Alpharetta Police since then and was assigned to Criminal Investigations Division in 2021.
Did you ever get the owner of the blue Dodge Journey?
I did not. I believe I'd have to refer to the Atlanta report. I believe it was a older female who actually owned the car. They were using stolen tags on the car. So whenever you would run it, it would come back with a stolen tag. But when they actually ran the VIN, I believe it came back to a middle-aged or older female. Again, I'd have to refer to the report.
Okay,
I
but the
think
description you got was for a younger black male, correct? With the Dodge Journey?
for the driver.
Yes.
Yes, the female occupant that was in the vehicle gave the name of the driver.
Okay, my apologies. You did say that. My apologies. Nothing further this time, Your Honor.
Gross.
Good morning.
Morning.
I would like to start at the beginning, and I apologize if we go over anything you already testified to, but you guys are going very fast. So I just want to make sure that we've got everything. So back to February 19th, you first received a call about an incident at Buffalo Wild Wings. Is that correct?
Yes, Buffalo Wild Wings and Outback Steakhouse.
Okay. Did you report to either of those locations?
No, I did not.
Okay. So do you know who did respond to those locations?
Yes, if I can refer to my report, I can tell you.
Please.
Officer Siegel, Segall, responded to 10890 Haynesbridge Road, which is Buffalo Wild Wings. And Officer Vickers, Vickers, responded to 6400 North Point Parkway, which is Outback Steakhouse.
And so Officer Siegel would have spoken to Garrett Anderson at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Correct.
And then Officer Vickers would have spoken to Miss Lauren Smith at Outback.
Correct.
Okay. Did you have contact with either of those individuals?
Yes, I believe at some point I spoke to Anderson, but I don't know for sure. I did speak to Miss Smith because she was the one who stated that she believed there was possibly fingerprints within her vehicle. So I met with her after the incident.
Great. I was going to ask that. So you spoke with Miss Smith, who reported she thought there were fingerprints inside her vehicle?
Yes,
Did you run those fingerprints?
I did dust for fingerprints. I lifted, if I recall, I think I put it in my report. Hold on a second. Yeah, I lifted fingerprints, pulled fingerprints from 6 different locations within the vehicle and took them to Forsyth County to be processed. They were not able to get any results off those fingerprints.
Are you aware of whether or not the Chevy Silverado from Buffalo Wild Wings, if prints were taken or dusted for on that vehicle?
Do you mind if I check my report?
Sure. Or please check.
The officer stated that he did not observe any fingerprints or evidence that could be lifted.
And then I believe you testified that there was no surveillance footage from Buffalo Wild Wings. Is that correct?
Yeah, we were not able to receive any.
But there was a witness at the Buffalo Wild Wings? Is that
Not in that report? There were Taco Mac, there was a witness.
understood? Okay. I apologize.
Okay.
So then at Outback, was there surveillance footage?
Yes, Officer Vickers did review the footage, and then I attached some screenshots to the report.
On that footage, could you identify any individuals?
Specifically identify?
Yes.
No, it just says that an occupant exited the vehicle.
Okay. And then I believe I heard you testify earlier about some AirPods.
Yes.
And these AirPods were taken from the Buffalo Wild Wings location.
From Anderson's vehicle, yes.
And you mentioned that the AirPods were located.
Yeah, so located probably wouldn't be the correct word. If you're familiar with AirPods, it will show an area that they're located in if you go to like find your device. So the owner checked the device and it was showing in the area. If I can refer back to my report, I can potentially give you exact details on it.
Please feel free to refer to your report when you need to. And I may save you some time. Does the 3000 Old Alabama
Yeah, I
Road?
just got to that. Yeah, 3000 Old Alabama Road at Kroger. So Officer Siegel went with his FTO to that area and they noticed a blue Dodge Journey in the parking lot. But when they pulled in, they stated that the Dodge Journey left the parking lot in an erratic manner. They did not attempt to pursue the vehicle.
Okay, so the AirPods, they just tracked to the general
To that
Kroger parking
area.
lot, correct?
Correct.
They didn't track specifically to that Dodge Journey?
Correct.
Okay. And the Dodge Journey left before the officers were able to go up to the Dodge Journey.
Yes.
So they did not have a visual on the AirPods.
No, they did not. They did say that the AirPods were showing at multiple locations and then they continued to check the locations. And once that Dodge Journey left the area, the last known location of those AirPods was in Atlanta on Commerce Drive.
Okay. All right. So then fast forwarding a bit to about a month later in March, this is the Taco Mac location and the car belonging to Marcus Weatherby. What car did he have again?
So Marcus had a Toyota Highlander.
Okay. And it was, I believe you testified his driver's side window was shattered.
Correct.
And he was the witness that took a photo of a blue Dodge Journey.
Yeah, so he snapped a photo of the Journey, but he specifically was getting the temporary tag, which if I can add, that temporary tag came back to a vehicle that had been broken into on Windward Parkway in March. And so the owner of that tag was actually a victim of an entering auto.
Okay. Is this photo that he snapped of the tag saved for evidence?
I believe it's attached to the report. It's my investigator's report is attached to the report and there is a photo in my investigator's report.
Awesome. And then I believe it was your testimony previously that you asked Mr. Weathersby if he could identify the individual he saw and he told you he could not.
So again, like I said, I can't say for sure. I vaguely remember having a discussion where I believe he said he wouldn't be able to like for sure identify the person because it was dark outside.
Okay. But to your knowledge and your memory, you did not provide him with a photo lineup.
I did not.
Was there surveillance footage at this Taco Mac?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Was the Toyota Highlander dusted for fingerprints?
I'll check my report. I did not dust it for fingerprints. I'm not sure if the officers on scene did. I don't believe they did. There's no mention in the report that fingerprints were dusted for, so I do not believe any were.
Okay, I would like to ask about a conversation you had, I believe, with a Detective Poss back in February regarding the Blue Dodge Journey. And do you recall that conversation?
So vaguely.
Okay, I believe it concerns a traffic stop of the Blue Dodge Journey where there was a firearm recovered and 2 individuals were arrested.
Douglas County. Yes.
Okay, so do you recall the names of the individuals who were found inside that vehicle?
Joshua Walker and Aquinetta Davis.
Sure, and they were arrested in the Blue Dodge Journey for stolen firearms. Is that correct?
They had no ties to the Blue Dodge Journey. They just were arrested they were in a vehicle. I think it might have been a Honda. It wasn't the Dodge Journey. They were stopped in a vehicle and one of the stolen firearms was found in that vehicle.
Okay, so how did that incident connect to this?
Because one of the firearm that was located in their vehicle was stolen in an entering auto, I believe. I think the stolen firearm. Yeah. Detective Poss stated that that firearm was taken in their entering autos.
Okay. Now, in all of your investigations, did you look at or discover who the registered owner of the blue Dodge Journey was?
So I did look into it. I don't believe her name is in my report. If I can look at the Atlanta report, I think
Please.
her name was in it. The owner is Juanita Hall.
Can you spell that first name for me, please?
Juanita's Juanita.
Juanita Hall.
Hall is common spelling.
Did you speak to Miss Hall?
I did not.
Is there a reason why not?
No. Not off the top of my head.
But she is actually the registered owner of this blue Dodge Journey.
Yeah, the tag that should have been on it was Charlie Juliet Romeo 5729.
Understood. One moment, please.
Sure.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, redirect.
Okay, Officer Lawrence, I'm just going to go quickly over some stuff that was said during their testimony. You stated that you didn't speak to the registered owner, who's Miss Juanita Hall.
Correct.
Did you speak to anyone who had spoken to the registered owner?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I was trying to see if there was something in the Atlanta report about them speaking to the registered owner.
Take your time.
Yeah, so the Atlanta report states that the vehicle was impounded and it was Miss Abdullah's grandmother's vehicle.
Miss Abdullah, that was the Yasmin Abdullah from before?
Correct.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm overheating quickly. Yasmin Abdullah, you said that she was a female occupant of the blue Dodge Journey?
Yes.
And Miss Abdullah, she is the one who gave the name of Santarius, forgive me for mispronouncing, Mr. Kemp.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of any relationship between the two of them?
I vaguely remember. I'd have to go back and look. I believe they might have been dating, but I can't say 100%.
Okay. How did you ID the defendant in this case?
So through her statement saying he was the driver.
Yasmin Abdullah?
Yasmin, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Miss Abdullah's statement saying Kemp was the driver and then speaking to the other detective who had a accurate phone number for him and then he utilized that phone number, which those cases had their preliminary hearing in May and he would have testified to that search warrant. That search warrant that he obtained for those records that then put Kemp in the area of the entering autos.
Okay, and the warrant states Officer Vickers looked through the video footage.
Mhm.
And I believe it was from the March 19th incident. Did he ever tell you what the video footage showed?
That was, Vickers had the February 19th incident.
Oh, my
and
apologies on the
That's
date.
okay. His report stated that an occupant exited the vehicle. It was a blue Dodge Journey, exited the vehicle. And then I'd have to look back. I believe it said he exited the vehicle, got back into the vehicle and left the scene. Says occupant exited the vehicle wearing a dark gray hoodie, broke the back glass and retrieved items in the back seat area, then got into the vehicle and exited the parking lot, making a right-hand turn out of the parking lot. The camera angle was not good enough to get a tag number.
So when you're saying he got back into the vehicle, he got back into the blue Dodge
Correct.
Journey, so he didn't get into the vehicle that he had shattered from the video footage. Okay, and so in that date, you said you saw Mr. Kemp's phone records located in that area around the same time.
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Kemp, who allegedly might have had some sort of romantic relationship or any relationship with Miss Yasmin Abdullah, whose mother was the registered owner of the blue Dodge vehicle.
Correct.
All right.
I did attempt to get phone records for Miss Abdullah. I did not have success in getting location records that would put her in the area of those entering autos.
Okay. Your interactions with the other police departments, did they offer any ways of how they identified the defendant?
So, I think it was McDonough. They had video footage of the stolen credit cards being used at a Kroger, but the video was too grainy. I think Marietta and McDonough were both doing phone records or using our phone records. I can't remember. And then Atlanta, the officer who attempted to stop the Dodge Journey, like physically saw Kemp in the driver's seat at the time, could not ID him when he fled. And once Abdullah stated that it was Kemp in the car and they looked at photos of Kemp, they confirmed I believe they confirmed that matched the suspect they saw in the vehicle.
Okay.
But that's all in their report that I would have to refer back to because I'm not 100% familiar with their interactions.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to get my laptop.
Okay.
Okay, so from February 19th, the 2022 incident, we have video footage. We do not have it for the March 19th incident, correct?
Not from the restaurant, no.
But we do have a witness who you said snapped a screenshot of the license plate, who you indicated the license plate was stolen.
Yeah, so at the time, the license plate had not been reported stolen. Many times what will happen, I don't know if this happened in that case, but many times what will happen is the victims don't realize everything that was stolen. This was a temporary tag that had been used on a victim's vehicle at one point, but they already had their valid tag. So it could have been something where they didn't notice. It wasn't placed on GCIC until a later date. So at the time, it was not coming back as stolen.
Okay. Your interactions with the police departments, did they all describe the accused who was committing these string of entering autos as a black male, early or mid-20s?
Well, so some of them only had the vehicle description. Not all of them had that specific description. I know in the Atlanta report, there is a actual description given, and when the officer tried to stop the blue Dodge, it was black male wearing a white t-shirt with short dreads. Could be seen breaking into several vehicles at the location.
Black male, white shirt, wearing dreads.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this report, it does say that Abdullah and Kemp share an address of 320 Fairburn Road, apartment V7. And then she confirmed that it was in fact Kemp driving the vehicle earlier in the day when Atlanta tried to stop it.
320 Fairburn Road,
Apartment
apartment.
V as in Victor 7. And she admitted at that time to being the one driving the vehicle and he was a passenger.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so we testified that the footage from the February 19th incident, that, did you testify that there was a male that smashed the window of a vehicle?
It's just an occupant. The angle of the camera, you can't tell gender or anything like that.
Oh, so it was March 19th.
It's March
that-
19th.
That,
where
okay, that you had the,
The witness or the
Mhm.
victim.
forgive me if I've already asked this, but I just wanted to make sure because I couldn't remember. The cell phone records, you have Mr. Kemp's phone being in the area of the at 219, the Buffalo Wild Wings, and for the Taco Mac
Yes.
in March 19th.
Yeah, February 19th, it's Buffalo Wild Wings and Outback.
Okay,
March 19th is Taco Mac. And then you can see the records move down Old Milton Parkway to 400 South.
those phone records are around the time of both incidents?
Correct.
Well, both strings of
Yes,
incidents, both
Yes.
clusters of incidents.
Correct.
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Rondon?
Yes, briefly.
On redirect, you testified that Miss Yasmin Abdullah made a statement. I don't believe it was to you, but it was to another law enforcement officer
Yes.
that Mr. Centarius Kemp was in that vehicle on April 26th.
Yeah, so sorry, it would have been April 24th. So that was a
24th.
mistype on my part. April 24th is when Atlanta attempted to stop the vehicle. And then when they made contact, when they found the vehicle, she was in the driver's seat. And then she told them that he had been in the vehicle earlier when that had occurred in Atlanta.
But only that day.
That day, correct.
So she didn't say that he had been in the vehicle in February.
I don't believe they questioned her on that.
Okay.
And was not able to make contact with her.
And to be somewhat repetitive, she did not indicate that either of them were in the vehicle in March.
Correct.
Nothing further.
All right, anything else? All right. Thank you, Detective. Appreciate it. Stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up. All right, go ahead with the argument.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on testimony here today, the state feels that probable cause has been established for the charges. Excuse me 1 second. For this defendant, Mr. Santarius Kemp, the officer has testified that his phone was in the location of both of the clusters of incidences. The officer has testified that vehicle windows were shattered and that items were taken, therefore satisfying each element of the entering auto and criminal trespass. Officer has also testified that there has been a string of incidences involving the same blue Dodge Journey, which I believe we've established that this defendant was driving. As such, we would ask the court to find that there is probable cause to believe that Santarius Kemp for both cases, case number 22 CP 211235 and case number 22 CP 211236, that probable cause has been established for these charges and for the defendant. Nothing further.
Ms. Rhonda?
Yes, Your Honor. I know we did the two cases pretty much together, but I'm going to separate them out for my argument.
Sure.
For position 4, which is 22 CP 211235, which I believe those charges are for the February 19th incidents at Outback and Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm going to ask for all 4 charges to be dismissed for insufficient probable cause. The detective testified that at both I'll start with the Buffalo Wild Wings location, that there was no surveillance footage located at the scene. No fingerprints were taken off of the vehicle that could have matched anybody. No witnesses saw an individual or could identify Mr. Kemp as the person that had broken into the Chevy Silverado at that location. All that was identified was a blue Dodge Journey. For the Outback location, there was footage, but the footage, you could not identify any individual. You could not even identify that person's gender. It just showed a grainy individual. There was fingerprints lifted from this vehicle, but they came back as no match. And more importantly, they came back as no match to Mr. Kemp, whose fingerprints would be in the system. Although testimony was given that AirPods were tracked down, they were only tracked down to the general vicinity of a Kroger parking lot. The officers that went to that Kroger parking lot did not have a visual on said AirPods and did not have a visual or did not even speak to the individuals within the blue Dodge Journey. Although a blue Dodge Journey seems to be involved in these cases, nothing today has placed Mr. Kemp inside of that vehicle as the driver or as the passenger. Nothing testified to today shows that Mr. Kemp touched either the Chevy Silverado or the BMW X5, either through fingerprints, surveillance footage, eyewitness testimony, nothing of the sort. For position 5, 22 CP 211236, which is the March 19th incident at Taco Mac, we are in a very similar posture. There was, I believe, no surveillance footage from this Taco Mac. No fingerprints were taken from any of the vehicles that were found in the parking lot that were damaged in this Taco Mac. There was a witness, a Mr. Marcus Weathersby, but he was never shown a photo lineup to be able to identify anyone. And to the best of the detective's memory, he may have said he couldn't ID them, even if he was shown a victim lineup or a photo lineup. So nothing testified to today places Mr. Kemp in that blue Dodge Journey on March 19th at this Taco Mac. No surveillance footage, no fingerprints, no witness ID puts him there. Although this blue Dodge Journey is there, nothing shows that he is in fact inside of it. Further, this blue Dodge Journey is not registered to Mr. Kemp. It is registered to a Miss Juanita Hall. Although Miss Juanita Hall may be, 6 degrees of separation connected to Mr. Kemp, that does not point in any way, shape, or form to Mr. Kemp being in the vehicle for these incidents. I would submit that nothing today has shown that it is more likely than not that Mr. Kemp was involved in these situations. And so I would ask for all charges in both 22 CP 211235 and 22 CP 211236 to be dismissed for insufficient probable cause.
All right, last word.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna dismiss all of them on failure to prove. Nothing to do with you, detective. At all. You did a fantastic job, but it was everybody else. Best of luck to you, sir. I'll tell you what, sir, it doesn't mean they can't indict it on you. They indict it on you, they'll come back and arrest you. Again, if you're doing this, you got lucky, stop. Best of luck to you.
So both cases are dismissed?
Yes,
Your Honor?
ma'am.
Okay.
Once again, they could indict you on them though,
Absolutely.
so. And I think that's it. Thanks, detective.
No longer have bonds on these cases. You only have bonds on the others.
Short date, well, we'll be back at 1 anyway.
This one was at 30,000. This one was at 40.